Episode number 4. Tonight we're going to do chicken francaise and an asparagus side. I'm not going to get crazy with the sides tonight. We can finish it off with salad or fruit or whatever. Chicken francaise is a really simple, nice meal you can make. Fool your company into thinking you're a really good cook. It's a great meal. It doesn't take a lot of effort and not a lot of crazy ingredients. It's just a chicken breast with kind of an egg coating. It's in a lemon chicken broth white wine sauce. You don't have to use just chicken though. Feel free. This goes great with veal scallopini or shrimp, or actually we used to cook it a lot with red snapper. So any kind of fish is really good. You can use the exact same method that I'm about to show you. But we're going to start with boneless skinless chicken breasts. And the breasts that we get at the grocery store now are just sometimes real huge. What I'll do a lot of times is just kind of fillet them down the middle and just make 2 out of 1. But we have definitely got to pound these out. We're going to pound them out flat with our meat hammer. Just a little trick of the trade to keep from making such a huge mess. We'll just take a piece of cellophane and kind of make us a little bit of a splatter guard with it. You won't have to 409 your cabinets when you're done pounding this meat, but we're just going to take all our chicken breasts and pound them out pretty flat. Alright, we got our chicken breasts pounded out flat. We're going to hook those up in a minute, but we'll first start off and we'll go ahead and get our sauce ready. The sauce we're going to go in is we're just going to use chicken broth and go with the low sodium or no sodium stuff. I never measure, so I don't really I don't know how to tell you how much, because I do so many different amounts of this stuff at one time. But basically, it's going to cook for about 15-20 minutes. And depending on how many chicken breasts you have in here, you want some sauce left over. So I'm going to say we're going to go ahead and go with we're just going to go ahead and go with a full can tonight. If you're just cooking two servings, you can probably go with a half a can. You want some left over, and it doesn't really matter. We're going to go next. We're just going to put lemon juice in. This is just regular lemon juice. It's non-sweetened. We're just going to go about 3 or 4 squirts around the pan with that, maybe 3 tablespoons. And you can taste it as you go along if you need it. If you want it more lemony, feel free. This is stevia. When I make this non-healthy, I'll use a little sugar, but the stevia should work just as well. Just put a little bit of that in there. And 1 tablespoon of butter. And that's going to be basically our whole sauce. If I had a little white wine, I would add some to it. It does make it taste pretty good. I don't have any tonight, but we can deal with it. I'm going to go ahead and turn that on and get that hot. Alright, we're ready to start getting our chicken ready to go into our other pan. If you're zoning, it's not going to take much. It's not going to be a very big meal. Something like this is about a 4 ounce. And if you're on the woman's side, it's going to be even smaller. So this is a lot of servings if you're zoning. So what I do is use a smaller pan when I'm trying to zone or really watch the calories. I'm going to use a small pan to fry this stuff, so I don't have to use quite as much oil. But I did this the other night with more chicken than this, and I only used 3 tablespoons of coconut oil. It's a coconut oil that's been refined for medium to high heat, so it's great for frying it. I only use 3 tablespoons for the whole thing. So you're not going to have a lot of fat transfer over to this. And I still think it's fine, because when you're zoning, they assume that your protein sources have a fat block with them that they don't count. And this is about as lean a meat as you get, so I don't think there's going to be much fat in this at all. I think it's okay to have a little bit extra of the coconut oil. The only other thing that might flip you if you're zoning, I am using flour. When I did this the other night, I cooked more chicken than this. I put 1 cup of flour in the bowl, did what I had to do, went back and measured at the end, and I still had a cup of flour. And I know it was maybe a little packed in my measuring cup going in the first time, but it's so little flour, I don't even think it's negligible. And all basically the flour is going to do is help the egg stick to the chicken. But we're just going to start out and dredge the chicken breast in the flour, and feel free to use almond flour. I've seen that, and it should do the same thing. I said you're not getting any taste. I'm going to shake all the excess off of that. I'm going straight into, this is 3 eggs. Just whole eggs, nothing fancy, just beaten up. We're going to go straight from the flour into the eggs. If you want to impress the company, throw a little fresh parsley in there, it makes it pretty. And then we're going to go straight out of the egg into the hot oil. This doesn't take very long. You're only going to do it, depends on how hot your oil is. My oil looks pretty good. You're just going to brown it on both sides. Don't poke at it too much. You don't want to knock this. You don't want to knock this coating off if you can help it. Once we put it in the pan, we're not gonna mess with it a lot. All right, so we go straight. This will be ready to transfer over. We're gonna go straight out of the hot oil. You get kind of a nice egg-coated chicken breast into our lemon chicken broth mixture, and then we're gonna keep doing the same thing for the rest of our chicken breast. All right, we're about done with our chicken. We got a whole pan full. I'm still gonna have some oil left over after the 3 tablespoons with all this chicken stuff. I think we're good on our fat ground. Alright. Got all this pretty chicken in our sauce over here. It's alright if it sits on top. You can kind of shake it up as it goes, but we're going to stick a lid on this thing. If you're just cooking a couple pieces, it's not going to take more than about 7-8 minutes to finish. Alright, now we're going to get our asparagus ready to cook. Less is more with me on asparagus. I don't do a whole lot to it. I like it fresh and I like it crispy. I can't stand the canned stuff. I've seen a lot of people just go at it with a knife and they just say, well, I don't know, maybe an inch, cut off around an inch and that'll be good. Actually with asparagus, the best way to get it ready to cook is you just want to take it, grab it at each ends, and you just fold it over, and wherever it breaks is where it needs to. The rest of this stuff can be really woody and stemmy. I don't know if you've ever eaten it. Been real tough, so you just grab it and wherever it breaks you should be good to use that and just throw the other stuff away. Alright, so we got our asparagus broke, we're ready to start cooking. I'm just going to throw all this in a big wide frying pan. I'm going to do something called steam frying, maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons of water, and eventually I'm going to let it all cook out. So in just a few minutes we'll have no water, and that's when I'll add a little bit of olive oil. Now we're going to check on our chicken. It looks great. Just open your lid and test your sauce. That's perfect. If it needs some lemon, add some lemon. It doesn't matter how late in the process you add it. You just got to watch it, because it will. If you don't have enough, it'll all boil out, and you won't have anything good to pour over the top of all this when you're done. So just keep an eye on it. If it gets a little low, throw you some more chicken broth in. Throw you a little bit, another shot of lemon juice, white wine, whatever you need. But this is looking great. It tastes great. On the asparagus, the main thing is not to overcook it. Just depending on how much you have is how long you need to cook it, but it'll start to turn actually a real bright kind of a chartreuse green. You really don't want to do it any more than that. I think the stuff's fine to eat raw. It might be a little tough, but it really does not need to cook long at all. We're going to wait a little bit longer, and even if all this water hasn't boiled out, I'll just simply take it to the sink and pour it out. So that's good. Alright, we got all the water out of this stuff. It's cooked. My pan's hot. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil. And the only other ingredient I'm going to use on this stuff is some garlic. So I got just a diced garlic clove, or a minced garlic clove. And this is going to take, a minute. We're just going to do this, brown the garlic a little bit, turn this off. We don't have to use any salt tonight. I'm going to take advantage of our nice sauce that we've got with our chicken. And I'm just putting all this on one plate, pouring some sauce over it. Alright, we're done with our asparagus. To get this ready for eating, we're going to eat it pretty quick. Just going to throw a good bit of asparagus on the plates. Get a healthy piece of our chicken. Over the top of everything. right, that's our meal. Hope you enjoy it. Like I say, play around with it. Use a little a snapper, use some shrimp. It's all good with this meal. I appreciate it. See you next time.